All right, how about now?
Ah, there we go.
All right. Venus, do you have audio?
I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yep, yep, I can hear everybody.
Okay, great.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you to both of you for showing up to do this interview.
Just turning up my sound a little bit. Okay.
Okay. What was that again?
Oh, I was just saying, thank you to both of you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Yeah, and especially to you, Tempest, for reaching out. I mean, it means a lot that you would even consider me for this, and
Absolutely.
yeah, and of course, Venus. I mean, you got some busy stuff that's going on right now, especially in a couple days. So it's before all that starts, it's great to be able to talk about some music and everything else that's going around along with that.
Yay, yes. Yeah. June, being Pride Month is always terribly busy. But it's good busy, so
Yeah, and especially a month like this, and unfortunately a year like this. I mean, I know it's some really turbulent times that's going on right now, but I really appreciate the cause that you're going for right now.
yeah. Yeah, it's well, it's something that I don't know if any of us really expected, but then once the election went the way it did and the whole project 2025 started unfolding, here we are. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, Venus. Venus was basically. Um, I refer to her as my second mother. So, without Venus, I wouldn't even be here because she was one of the ones that really kind of paved the way for a lot of people, myself included. And um, basically showed me that it was possible. So that was good. But there's a lot going on out there in the world right now that's trying to tell people it's not possible. We shouldn't exist. And as far as that goes, fuck you.
Yeah.
I could not possibly agree more. And I just love the fact of what you do, what the band has always stood for, what you do in your personal lives, what you do out there in the public, like everything that goes along with that. And, just importantly, just living the lives that you're supposed to live, which I think should never be taken away from anybody. And I just appreciate the causes that you go for, what you truly do stand for. I mean, you don't just say it, you actually go out there and you actually prove it, which is just an incredible thing to see.
I don't think either of us could be anybody else if we even tried. It's not possible.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a choice. It's who we are. The choice comes in where are we willing to weather the reaction and the oppression that happens when we show and be our authentic selves. So we would be one way or the other, but living an authentic self as we are, I mean, it's really, it makes you feel normal, you know, um, and you just you don't have a choice. It is who we are. And even if we try to conform or shut it down or live in the closet like the old days, it's what we had to do way back in the 70s and the 80s. Um, and I came out in 1988, so I lived through a lot of that. Um, we were still there, and it was we needed to change how people felt about us and what how we were seen. I mean, it was communicating to humanity, the fact that we're not any different than anybody else. But it took years to communicate that. And now with this administration, there is that really powerful
They're trying to take us
determination to
back to
push us back.
1954. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yep.
So yeah, we're kind of it's the same tools though. It's to be visible, it's to be out there and be willing to weather whatever the consequences are of doing that.
And we kind of kicked off this interview talking about musical. Music is a key to being able to do that. To be able to, it gives you a plausible excuse to be who you are on stage and things like that. That is actually maybe a little bit more accepted than it would be if you're just walking down the street. And so it's been a great gateway. And in particular, at least with my experience, the metal community, as far as that goes, has fully embraced. I've never really had a bad reaction from any of the metal shows or anything like that that I've gone around and done and things like that. Always been welcomed in open arms. And I think it's because that particular segment of society is used to being ostracized, put down, and considered outsiders themselves, that they see someone like us and they go, oh, come here, let's give you a hug. So it's been good.
Yeah, I found a lot of strength from the stage as well. I mean, there was that sense of, oh, okay, this is like stage, but I mean, back in the day when I started, I presented in a way which countered that idea that you're putting it on a stage. I was inspired by Wendy O. Williams, so I do topless and I do the electric tape pasties, which is what she did. Um, and that was to prove that this wasn't something I just put on for the stage. This is 24/7 who I was. And that was important to me. It's not so, I toured with Laura Jane Grace in 2014, and the new world of trans performers in rock and roll, that's not necessary anymore. We're recognized as authentic 24/7 ourselves. But back in the day, that was an important thing to do, and I just got comfortable with that, so I still project that, and it fits in with that whole um, uh, uh, aggressive punk metal, all of that look. So I haven't dropped it, still doing it.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see. And I've been doing Crash Course ever since Tempest offered the opportunity to do an interview, being able to check out all the work that's under your name or just the all the pretty horses name. And it's really cool to see the chemistry that all of you have, like everyone that you've been able to work with, like you're able to find like this really cool musical groove together. Whenever you're making videos together, it just seems like you're having such a good time being able to do it, whether it's something more serious, whether it's something a little more lighthearted. Everything just seems to be working together in the right direction. And it's just cool to see for as long as you've been doing it that you still have that passion for it.
Oh yeah. Well, Tempest has been doing it as long as I have, so yeah, absolutely. Um, Music and art, I mean, it gets you through the difficult times.
I'm of the mindset that being a musician is its own kind of mental illness. Normal people wouldn't do this for a living. They wouldn't. You're doing what? And you're getting paid how little? Nobody goes into it for that. You either have a passion for this and it drives you more than anything else in your life, or you don't. And the people that are just kind of casually passing through, the rock and roll tourists, I call them. They're people that they maybe out of high school, maybe they're in college, they have a band and everything. They go out and they play a few shows and they have some fun with their friends and things like that. And they do a few parties and things like that, do a few shows. But after a certain time, all of a sudden, real world comes knocking, and it's really difficult to actually continue doing this. I've been doing it for over 35 years. And I sit there and think, 35 fucking years? At this point, I'm playing oldies of my own music because my music is actually older than the 50s were in the 80s when I graduated high school. And
Yep.
it's like, I'm an oldies band. Oh my God. But that's because I never gave up. I don't know how to give up. So it just keeps me going. And like I say, it's like some kind of dysfunction, some kind of mental illness where you're just going to keep doing that no matter what. You can try to hang it up, but you're going to come back to it.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And Tempest, I mean, I've of course knowing a bit more of what you do. I love the fact that you uh, do continue to keep playing music around here, but you're also doing stuff outside of that as well too. I know you do a lot of sound work. You work at different venues. like that. I mean, what is that like for you to like continuously be a part of the music scene around here and being able to show it off, whether you're
I,
on stage or off stage?
I love it. I fucking love it. It's somebody once said that the secret to happiness is find something you love to do and then figure out a way to get paid for it. And I've managed to do that. It's taken like 35 years, but I've managed to do that. I run sound at Club Underground. I've run sound for a number of other clubs. I work with Greg Moog from Black Blood Diesel. He started up a production company called Base 12 Productions. And he was doing the big Skyway shows, the multi-stage shows and the multi-band shows and stuff like that. And I was playing one of them, and I noticed like nobody is organizing this stuff. It's all going to be a mess. And so I jumped in. I started like spreadsheets, trying to get everybody's schedule together, and stage managing and figure who's doing this and who's doing this, how much time for changeover. And Greg actually came up and apologized to me and said, "I am so sorry I had to put this all on you. I am so sorry. You shouldn't have to worry about all this." I said, "You didn't put anything on me. I stepped up. This is the type of thing I want to do. I'm doing something in the genre and the realm of things that I passionately love, and I don't care what I'm getting paid for. I have a degree in network engineering. I could be making all kinds of money, but I would rather go out and run sound at a dive bar or put on a show at the Skyway or play shows with the bands that I work with rather than do any kind of day job. I'm actually not well suited for a day job anymore. I'd probably tell somebody what I actually think, and that would get me fired. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, I think I gave up trying to fit a day job. I do what I do off when I'm not on sale. I do like freelance handiwork. So I don't know if you know much about inter the there's a trans woman that calls herself the handyman, and she does a lot of handiwork, and is very well known right now in social media stuff. But I do that kind of thing. So, and for me, it's just creative problem solving and doing that. And I don't advertise it. I just do it word of mouth. But it's for me. Doing that, I don't have to think about it. I can interact with people. I don't charge a lot, and it just helps me pay the bills. And then music is my focus. Um, but I couldn't do a regular job at all. No, not at all. I need that flexibility.
Yeah, I completely understand. And doing what I do as well too. I mean, this is actually my 948th interview that I've done over the past 14 years.
Wow.
Like this is what I love to do. I mean, I've done everything from playing drums on stage, doing album reviews to covering shows, but I love doing interviews the most because I get to get personal with people. Like I get to have like real conversations. Like I don't have a script in front of me. Everything's just off the top of my head, and I just like having these real conversations. And when I get to talk to good people, that's just the most rewarding part to me. And when I get to talk to uh, people like both of you right here and being able to promote such good stuff that is going on and some upcoming stuff as well too. That just makes me so happy to see as well too, and I love the fact that both of you are together again to be able to do some music in the live setting again.
I remember a few years ago when you and I first started talking. Your show was you were like on the edge, like should I keep going? Should I not keep going? Is it going anywhere now? And I'm like, no, keep going. You got to keep going. I'm sending you like tips and stuff like that. And you're like, who is this insane person? I'm like, don't give it up. Keep doing it. So that's how we got to know each other. So
And that's one of the reasons that I continue to do this because, like, I mean, suffering through my own mental health struggles as well too. Like, I constantly question myself all the time if I'm doing the right thing. But when I hear like from an outside source that I am doing the right thing, that I should keep going with this, like that really does inspire me because it's not just someone telling me to do it just to do it. Like, you actually mean it, and I could not appreciate that more.
I like it or don't like it. Everything I say is I mean. So people can take it for what it is. They can either hate me or love me, but it's going to be for the real thing.
And again, that's what I appreciate so much is because I mean, I've dealt with this so much when I've had to deal with like higher ups when it comes to labels or personnel or tour managers or whatever else. There's a lot of unauthenticity that goes in the music scene. So when I do find people that could not be more authentic if they tried, it's so refreshing to me to be able to deal with that. And especially since the pandemic, I've seen people just become more authentic as time has gone by. And yeah, when I'm able to deal with people like that, it makes things so much easier.
I think the pandemic actually is the reason both Venus and I are sitting here talking with you right now. It's because a little bit after the pandemic, or during the pandemic or around the pandemic, my memory for timeline is crap. So if I'm screwing up timelines, Venus can correct me or whatever. But basically, what some people consider the classic lineup of all the pretty horses, which is myself, Venus, and the drummer Phenom Jen Dean. We all had some pretty serious health scares. I think all three of us have had heart attacks at this point. I know Jen Dean has, I believe Venus has, and I have. And I'm sitting there after the whole pandemic is gone and everything, and the world is starting to start back up. And I'm like, it's been nearly 20 years since we've done shows together.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, we need to put the band back together. I mean, Venus has been going on. She has never stopped. She did a solo career for a while, and then she relaunched all the Pretty Horses. And she's been putting out album after album after album, videos and all kinds of. She has never stopped. And I got stopped in my tracks. I got derailed by life, basically. But I came back, and when I came back, I said, we need to put this band back together, and we need to go out there and do some things before the day comes where one of us isn't here and it's not possible.
Yep.
Because as far as myself goes, I'm not going back up there if Jen Dean isn't there, and obviously if Venus is there is no All the Pretty Horses. So I never want to see that day come. But I mean, I needed it to be complete, and it's like, clock is ticking. We need to do something. And I got a hold of Venus on Facebook. And we sat down over coffee at some weird coffee shop, because that's what Venus likes to do, is go and have coffee at weird coffee shops. And she had coffee, and I had like this giant cookie. So
No, it was great, and it's the right time, and I am so thrilled. It is. We've been rehearsing, kind of remembering how we used to do the songs, the structures. I have to take notes to remember. I'm not starting the song. Jen Dean's starting this song, and then I jump. It's very wonderful, and it brings back a lot of memories, and it's sounding so good. And I am just super excited and happy to have us together again. And yeah, it is a classic lineup. I had lineups before that, and it was like trying to establish a band and going through all of that. But we reached that, I think the lineup with Chendi and Tempest and I, that was at the peak of our climb, and the documentary had come out. We were supporting the documentary. We were able to tour New Zealand. We were able to tour Spain. Um, we did a lot in New York. We were kind
it
of
was
still
crammed in there.
maintaining New York.
I mean, I joined the band, and like, what was it? 3 weeks later, I'm on a plane in New Zealand.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
it's a
so
rite of fire.
yeah, straight into the fire. That's what it was. It literally was. And um, if you get dumped in the fire, a couple things can happen to you. You can either get burned or consumed by it, or you can be forged by it. And working with Venus and all the Pretty Horses forged me into something. Showed me how it can be done, what can be done, and how to do it right. And so I literally studied Venus. So there's some people that say, well, you're a lot like, well, we're not really alike, but if you take some of the superficial stuff, yeah, that there are definite similarities. And I say, I'm not trying to copy her. I learned from her. She was my teacher. What do you expect me to turn out like? So
No, it's a wonderful wonderful reunion. This next show we have for Pride on the 27th at Palmer's patio. That's just the beginning. I expect us to do lots of work together from here out. So it's just yeah,
Yeah,
just
we just had a discussion about it. We want to get back to doing event class shows. I was mentioning that I'm working with the Skyway Theater. And I've got a concept for a show with all the pretty horses with that. I've got some other things outside of town that I'm looking at that I would like to help put together and bring things back. I miss the big shows. I miss the big shows. And I think it's time to go out there and do that again. So, like Venus says, we've got Palmer's on the 27th, Pride. That's going to be a very cool show, but that's not going to be the last you see of us. There will be more.
yep.
And I'm so happy to hear that too. And again, just like hearing both of you being to converse the way that you are, just makes me so happy to see that again. But you know, since she is continuously being brought up, I would be remiss if I did not bring up the amazing drumming Jen Dean being able to be rounding out the third of this. And unfortunately, she wasn't able to make this interview, but I did want to give her props as she is just an excellent drummer. I love what she does, and again, just um, seeing the three of you back together again, I mean, that just makes me so happy to see that. And I can just see it between the two of you. And I know when the three of you together, I'm sure it's even better.
Yeah. It's a very comfortable um gloves to put back on. It's just been really, really wonderful.
There's they say there's a mystical power of three or something, but there always was a specific chemistry with the three of us in the room. Now, that's not to say that there isn't another very important member that we haven't mentioned that is switching off of bass guitar because, well, frankly, I can't play a guitar, but she can. So we should definitely give pops out here to Danny Mae. So
Yeah.
she is going to be on stage with us. She is still part of the band. She is not being pushed out or anything like that. I want to make sure that's clear that she is an important part of that, and she's an amazing guitar player.
She's she stepped in working with me as the bass, my current bass player in the standard All the Pretty Horses lineup that I have right now. But yeah, I invited her to if she was willing to move into a second guitar position, which is just expanding the classic lineup a little bit. And she was thrilled. Trans woman, um, younger than us, but remembers us from back in the day. And so I think she feels a little honored. She's told me. Um, but she's a brilliant musician and she loves guitar, so it's just a really fun element to bring in and just widens out the sound that we have. And it's just going to make the whole event just wonderful. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh,
it was
very
one of
cool.
those things when we were talking about getting back together. I came home from that coffee shop meeting with you, and Jen Dean's like, "Well, what about Dan?" I said, "Well, Venus will put her on guitar." And 6 months later, then it happened. So,
Yep.
so called that one.
Yeah, I was very curious about that, how that was going to work out, and I'm so glad to see that as well too, because you know, especially in that live setting, there's nothing like having like two guitars to really fill out that sound. I mean, a three piece always does sound great, especially when you get the right sound and everything that's going on. But just being able to fill out the guitar sound more, and especially having someone that cares deeply about the music and you have that musical chemistry with, I mean, that's such a cool thing to see.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's wonderful. And you know, when Tempest joined the band, um, that made All the Pretty Horses officially all trans, an all trans lineup. And that was the first time I had been working as the front person, the only trans member until Jen came in. Of probably, I got to get my timeline in front, but I had gone through a number of different drummers up to that point, and when she came in, it was the two of us who were trans. So so yeah, when Tempest came in, it was an all trans lineup. And then after I tried doing a solo thing and we went our different ways, I did not bring it back completely to a full trans group again. So that's the other unique thing about this reunion lineup that we're doing. It's with Danny May, who is a trans woman. We are all trans lineup again. And that is just really amazing.
And the time for that is right. I know there were some concerns early on, it's like how is it going to be treated? Is it going to be treated seriously, or are they going to think it's some kind of put on or something? But everybody in this band is a powerhouse musician. All of us played in all of us do play in multiple other bands. Venus has got her solo projects and things like that. Danime plays in some other bands. Jandine and I play in some other bands. All of us are extremely competent on our instruments and can bring it to stage. And as far as Danime filling out the sound on guitar, all I can say is Venus is the loudest fucking guitar player I have ever played with in my life. And my old singer just told me I was the loudest bass player on the planet, and sometimes I can't hear myself over her. So she she fills out the sound regardless. So
Oh, that is just so great. Again, it's just I love seeing everything that's going on here. I love the fact that shows are being booked, things that are coming in the future as well too, like the concepts that are coming up for events already in your mind, and then just again like the representation that's going along with all that as well too, because I think that is just so important to be happening, especially right now in 2025. And it's just like I always worry about like safety and what can happen in the future with the people that I do care about, and I just love the fact that especially you, Tempest. I know you the most. Like I know you just have this don't give a fuck mentality that you want to go out and do what you want to do, and the fact that you're able to do that and show who you are, being able to have this representation that's going on and play the music with the people that you can write music with, and everything that goes with that. I just love what both of you are doing, and I'm just so glad that you're just able to continue to do that and just just like fuck everybody else that's going on. Just keep doing what you want to do. That just makes me happy.
it takes a while to get that. A lot of people like to put on that pretense. Look at, I don't give a fuck. They do all that, but to actually, I have a phrase, delegaff. Do I look like I give a fuck? And realistically, when I went through a whole bunch of bad stuff and I came out the other side, I realized I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. I am not here for their approval or to conform to their standards at all. I don't care. I'm going to live my life the way I want to, and damn the torpedoes. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, that is the place you have to get to move forward. I was talking to my spouse um, about the early days when I first came out, and I was still determined to change everything and not stay in the closet. So I was breaking out. I was in performance art, but I still had constructed a safety bubble around me that I felt safe in. And we took a trip overseas for an early anniversary of ours, and I went outside my safety bubble, and it was hard, and it was I was very fragile, and it took a lot of fortitude to get through that, and that was about a decade of struggle emotionally to just maintain my being out. And when I think about that time, and now like Tempest, I don't care anymore. People are not going to intimidate me anymore. I have that foundation. I have that experience. I have that strength. I'm going to weather it. Um, it took a long time to get there. I had to get tempered to get to that place. And I know there's a lot of trans kids out here, young adults and even older people that are just coming out and finally finding the courage to be themselves. Um, that in trans years when you're that young, you can be very fragile and you can be very defensive and feel very vulnerable. And that doesn't mean there isn't danger out there, and you shouldn't be aware, but you need to have that elasticity to be able to absorb the difficulty in order to make a difference.
You
You
have to
need
have
to
a
be able
certain,
to stand up to it so that you can reply not defensively, but in a way that expresses your humanity and your connection and the fact that we are all in this together. All of us,
yeah,
both sides, Republicans, Democrats, all of us, we're all together here. And our being out there, our being visible, our communicating, and that's how we will build the bridges we need to build. You can't build a bridge from one side. It's got to be from both sides.
yeah, and I see this with some of the younger members of our community and things like that. Is they're worried, they're scared,
Yeah.
and I've had a phrase. It was an old song of mine. It was fear is not the answer. And if you go around and you hold yourself in fear, what could this person do? Or so and so was giving me a bad look at the grocery store. Somebody said something behind me or whatever. That paints you as a victim. And these bullies, these assholes out there, spot that little bit of timidness. So you have to have the confidence in yourself. You have to know that you do belong, that this world is yours as much as anybody else's by birthright. You own this world as much as anybody else walking on it. And I guess that's one important thing I could say. Just understand that and don't question yourself. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I doing this too? Be yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody. You're going to fail if you try to be somebody else because it's fake. Don't be fake. Be yourself.
And the thing with this lineup right now, Tempest, Jen, and me, we've all lived those old days. We know what it's like to live in the underground and to deal with life when you don't have any rights as a trans person. We live that. So we know we can still do it. We will be here no matter what they do. They're not going to be able to get rid of us. But a lot of the new trans people who have grown up with the rights and the recognition, which they should have, um, they have not experienced that difficulty, and it's hard. And so to have us present and have us to be able to tell them and reassure them that we will get through this, I think means a lot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, back to the music thing and things like that, and upcoming events. Uh, uh, Something I don't even know if Josh even knows, but you're going to be at the Capitol this weekend.
Yes, yeah, I got invited by Indivisible to do two songs as part of their lineup from the Capitol Steps. So I'm going to be on, I think, 155.
And that's
Uh,
no King's Day, something I'm
yeah,
definitely behind. So, um,
and
but
I am so completely honored, and of course willing to step up to that and to hold some hold some witness to what we need to do and what we need to be willing to stand up against. So, yeah.
Yeah, I could not be more happy that you are a part of something like that. I mean, it's something that's very, very important, and the fact it. I mean, that's got to be such a great feeling to be able to actually go up on the Capitol steps and be able to show that representation, play some music like that, and just show all these different sides of your personality.
Uh,
So yeah, with that, I see Zoom is slowly counting down and we'll be shutting off in a few minutes. But I just want to thank you again both so much for taking the time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on in your worlds right now, and of course everything that's going on with all the pretty horses as well. It's been great to be able to talk to you about just like music, life, everything in general. It just means a lot that both of you took the time to do this. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to plug? Anything else you'd like to mention? Anything else?
Well, let me say, I just got a date in November for Sound Unseen screening of Venus of Mars, a documentary that was done in 2004, released in 2004. Jen is in that. That was right before Tempest joined. And that is going to be screening, and I've already pitched to have this lineup do an after party or connected performance. And there is some dialogue to include Cloudland for a venue for that. So that is December, early December, and at Sound Unseen, the local film festival here, at the Trilon Theater, I think is their regular venue. So I want to say that, and I haven't even told Tempest this yet. So
I've
this
just
is
found out.
but it's
And that's
coming.
just the way usually things go with Venus. Is she tells me after it's already in progress of happening, like, oh, all right, because she knows I'll go along with it. I'll just say yes. So,
So that's to say that this is not the next show is not the only show. It is just the beginning.
so we're gonna have more shows with all the pretty horses. Um, I'm throwing my birthday party at the Skyway with one of my other bands, Harsh Reality. It celebrates 35 years, and I celebrate 56 years. So there's that 56 years of not dying. That's the way I like to phrase it. And then we've got an appearance at Rockfest with my band Harsh Reality. We go on right after Five Finger Death Punch. That should be interesting. So that'll be good. And then after that, the books are kind of clear, and we're looking at some stuff with all the pretty horses. We're looking at a club in St. Cloud that actually kind of in our own inner circle became a little bit infamous for saying we would never ever play there.
Yeah.
And now it's under new ownership, and I'm on good terms with them. And so I want to bring all the pretty horses to the red carpet in St. Cloud sometime. I'm not going to say by the end of this year, but within the next year to date, I want to bring all the pretty horses to the red carpet, and I think I can do that. So be on the lookout for that one. And
That's
we're
going to
also
be a
looking at
full.
Chicago. We're looking at Milwaukee. We're looking at Madison. We're looking at all of you. If you've got a place that you want us to play, if you think you like us and you want to pay us some money to show up, we'll do it.
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Well, I got less than a minute before this cuts off, so I don't want to seem like I just cut this off out of nowhere. That'll be Zoom. But thank you both again so very much for talking to me about everything, all the pretty horses, everything in life in general, especially during these turbulent times. Thank you so much for being here to be able to do this interview and just promote who you are. I love this so much. I'm so glad I was able to do this. Thank you both so very, very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Josh, for having
Thank
us
you.
on.